FCS Bryant, the Bulldogs, out of Smithfield, Rhode Island. It's beautiful here in Amherst. The sky looks good, everything looks good. This is not the way it was over the last few hours here. We thought the world was ending, tornado warnings, all of the above, but the rain has moved on, and after a 2-hour delay, we're here alongside Trey Watson, the All-American linebacker. Cooper Boardman, glad you're with us. You know, you look at last week for these two teams. UMass was in it early, struggles late against Temple. Other side, Bryant was in it late, almost beat an FBS opponent in New Mexico State. And today, they roll in here with their quarterback looking to make a little news in Western Mass.
It's two teams that are ready to make a statement, man. You're 0-1. You want to get the season off to a hot start. This is a great opportunity before we get into conference play and you're worried about conference records. It's time to make a statement here for both programs.
Brennan Meyer was awesome for him last week, and they think he can throw their way there to an upset today.
Brennan has all the tools, right? We talked with the coach earlier in the week, and he said, hey, we're going to throw everything at our guy that he can control, and he's ready to go.
Defense on the other side. This guy is a problem.
When you have an interior pass rusher who can get pressure like this, make turnovers for your defense, he's an impact player, an all-conference guy for a reason. He's a big-time player.
Takes on a UMass team that knows what the last couple of years have been. They're under a new head coach in Joe Harris-Simiak. You lose last week by 32 points. Obviously, the fan base is going to get a little bit loud, but they feel like they have buy-in from older players, and Jaquan Gibson showed it last week.
They have a veteran-laden roster, man, and Jaquan came and stepped up. He's a guy who's been around the program for a really long time, and he's been looking to make his mark. He did exactly that this past week. Anytime you get a guy with 20 targets, 12 catches, over 130 yards, you know he's an impact player. He's going to look to continue that momentum this week, get the offense going, and sustain that over 4 quarters.
When you and I talk UMass receivers who catch the ball over and over again, well, we're talking about the guy who was honored as a UMass Hall of Famer earlier today. We dusted off the reels. Victor Cruz with the salsa celly, too.
He wasn't doing the salsa celebration back here in Amherst, Massachusetts, but, you know, 2-time first-team all-conference player, one of the best guys, story going into undrafted free agent and playing for the Giants, man.
Joe Harris-Simiak begrudgingly told us a story that he got mossed by Victor Cruz back in high school. Now he's the head coach of UMass.
We were able to uncover that tape, and we're not going to put it out there for Coach, but, you know, respect him going against a guy as experienced and talented as Victor Cruz. He's ready to see what this program is doing.
Chris Merritt on the other side, year 7 at Bryant in their second year in the CAA. They're trying to upset UMass. They came close to doing it against an FBS opponent last week, and they will get the ball first. UMass won the toss, elected to defer. They're taking it out. Azrael Justa on the spin. And Bryant's first possession will start inside their own 15-yard line, led by Brennan Meyer, sophomore quarterback from Frisco, Texas, who played in 7 games last year. He has the keys now in 2025, and they feel like they can show up here, throw the ball with the kid from Texas.
They're a confident program. They take on the personality of their coach, and he told us they're going to go as far as Brennan goes. So here's his time to shine and see what he can do.
187 yards last week, 20 completions. A lot of motions in this offense. The back is Elijah Elliott, and it's a play fake to start the day, and it's a toss out to the left. Levi Wilkins for a positive start for Bryant.
Give your young quarterback some easy completions to make early on, the misdirection with the tight end. It's a perfect play to get him going early and be ready to go.
The thing about Bryant, you look at the final score last week, it was 19-3 at New Mexico State. They moved the football.
They had opportunities. They just have to finish and close drives out with touchdowns and not field goals.
Meyer again down the middle. That was broken up by Kendall Bournes. UMass's secondary is depleted without Zoran Daniel today, the junior strong safety. So Bournes will have a bigger role, and D.D. Snyder, number 4 in maroon, is back with them as well.
This is exactly what UMass's coach was looking for this week. Be able to get them in third and medium and long situations and bring in your sub packages, heat this young quarterback up.
Empty set for Brennan Meyer. On third down, had it batted, absolutely nothing. Marcus White, the Dartmouth transfer, got the paw on it.
Defensive lineman, man, you got to get your hands up if you're not going to be able to get the quarterback. You don't want to leave your feet and leave a runner place to get out of the pocket. Great start for UMass defense. Now you get your offense an opportunity to get points on the board early on.
This is the way it felt early in the game last week for UMass. They were in it. It felt like it was going to be a shootout over the first 10 minutes of that game before Temple ran away with it at the end of the first half and into the second half. Christian Carroll-Glan on the punt. It's the 50. And no decision to return for Samuel Badu. That's maybe our first inclination that T.Y. Harding might not play today. We'll see. He was a game-time decision for UMass. And a quarterback in Brandon Rose, the Utah transfer, who is a redshirt senior, has had plenty of experience in programs, but today, as his head coach reminded us, is making just his third career start.
Age doesn't necessarily equal experience anymore in the world of college football. You have these guys transferring and trying to find opportunities everywhere they come. They still feel confident in him. They think he has the skills both in the run game and the pass game, and they're going to let him prove it here today.
He was good for a lot of the day. It was just some red zone turnovers, one forced fumble. And they start on the ground. Rocco Griffin, their lead back, pushes forward. 10 carries for 94 yards and a touchdown. Most of that was in the first half last week because they couldn't run the football in the second half.
Once you get down early, it's really hard to come back to the run game. You need points and you need them quickly. They gotta establish that early, keep the game within reach, and Rocco should be a big factor.
Especially when we got a back playing at his 40th college game. They put it right in his belly again. Rocco Griffin forward into a Bryant defensive line we talked about off the top. Michael Oddie leads them, but they played well against an FBS team last week.
They did. They played scrappy. They were physical up front, and you know, at some point, the depth and the size and the speed wear on you if you're not able to convert points, and that's just what happened to him at the end of the game last week.
Jaquan Gibson, their top third down target last week at the top of your screen. Jake McConaughey in the slot to the left on 3rd down and 3. First third down of the day for the Massachusetts Minutemen on their opening drive. And they toss left. Got a lead blocker out there, but Griffin had nothing there. Bryant rallied. Dorian Helm made the tackle.
That's an excellent play by the corner. You get a crack replay situation with the tight end. Corner has to do his job and make a tackle in the open field. You see it on the replay here. Beats the puller, makes a great play.
That's Dorian Helm, that corner you're talking about, who played his last 3 years wearing maroon with UMass. And it's 3 and outs on both sides. Keegan Andrews was named the Ray Guy Punter of the Week. He was the best punter in the country last week for UMass. The Australian with a lefty boot deep. And fair catch easy for Jace Hannigan. All right, 3 minutes, possessions on both sides. What do you think so far?
Both teams come out a little flat, not able to build any momentum there. You know, we've got to see who is going to make that first strike, and then can you sustain that over, you know, a first quarter, second quarter, deep into the second half. Who responds after the 3-hour delay that we had sitting around waiting to really get this game started?
You can understand both teams yawning a little bit. You're sitting in your locker room for a few hours. I mean, you've lived in some weather delays in your career. What is it like in the mind?
You really have to control everything. You have to figure out how I'm able to keep my mind in the game.
Tristan Riley in motion down the middle. That's a tight end grab. Kobe Keenan, the big junior from Bradenton, Florida. Tight ends were a problem for UMass's defense last week with some shuffling in the secondary.
They had injury issues in the back end, and that led to some communication problems. On the flip side, a tight end is a quarterback's best friend. Clearly, that's a focal point early for the staff with Brendan Meyer, and it's working well.
They love to motion those tight ends. Do it again and hand it off. Elijah Elliott pushing the pile. Elliott was a transfer from Montana State, one of the older guys on a roster that's full of young guys making impacts. But he showed up in January, and by August, they named him a captain.
That's a special accomplishment, and it recognizes your work off the field, right? Because he hadn't gotten an opportunity yet to perform on the field and earn the respect of his teammates, but it's how he carried himself in the locker room, in the weight room, spring ball, and that makes a huge difference for your program.
Saw the numbers. They struggled to run last week. Meyer wanted to go deep, instead flipped underneath and put it right on the money on the outside left. Zaheem Kalik has Bryant's first big gainer of the day, 10+, and the first down of the afternoon.
He's finding some openings underneath when UMass is playing zone coverage. We know they're a heavy man team. Right here, they sit in a spot drop zone, and he takes the check down. His guy makes someone miss. That's all you can ask for as a wide receiver, is a chance.
First down and 10, 45-yard line. Another give, Elliott. That time the big UMass front. There's a challenge on them today. Didn't sack anybody last week. They're going to have some different bodies in there this week. That's a good start.
What I'm seeing right now is when Bryant tries to run the ball, this defensive line for UMass is setting the line of scrimmage backwards. That's what you have to do. Give your linebackers an opportunity to scrape over the top and get to the ball. They're doing that so far in these first 2 drives when Bryant puts the ball on the ground.
Nice to see a little bit of sunshine. There was a point in the day where I don't think any of us thought that was going to happen. Meyer again underneath. They again find a crossing route, and that's another pickup near the first down marker. Aldrich Doe, who had a career-high 5 catches for 54 yards last week, as his first.
We were looking to see who offensively for Bryant is going to establish themselves as a weapon. You see Doe, you see the 6'3" frame, the speed that you hear about, a sub 10.8 track guy. If they can get him going, this offense can take things to the next level, and that's a good start for him.
Third down manageable, place Bryant wanted to be. In UMass territory for the first time, Brennan Meyer, flush to his right, tries to flip it out, in traffic and broken up. A lot of guys in there, Heinz Peter underneath, safety over the top. That's the last thing UMass wants to see right now. Darion Craig, some of their safety depth down after this play.
This is a tough one. We saw a lot of these situations last week for UMass where they're in tight coverage and Temple was able to make plays on the ball. Here, you're able to separate the ball from the man here with Craig coming in and making a really solid hit, avoiding any head or neck area contact. It's unfortunate that he and the running back Elliott are down there, but great play overall for UMass defense and getting off the field.
Elliott down, Craig on his way to the sideline will step aside for the first time. 4th down and 4 for Bryant from midfield when we come back. 4th down and 4 for Bryant coming as we welcome you back. Third drive of the game after our 2-hour rain delay. Hasn't hurt the band. Bryant right now has their backup quarterback in as the punter, and I think UMass just realized it. And yeah, Joe Harris-Simiak calls timeout. That was Jaden Kiefner standing in the punter spot.
I can't remember the exact team, but someone ran a fake out of that last week, and no one was able to recognize it. Actually, I believe it was USF against Boise State. And that's something that you can really disguise, right? They're in a similar number to a punter, and you have an opportunity to catch them.
Bryant had their offense on the field for a while during that last time out. You could see they were talking maybe the potential. It's 4th and 4 from the 49-yard line. Here's exactly what just happened. Kiefner is just off the screen to your left, and you can see on the UMass sideline, they're talking about it. And Joe Harris-Simiak, I think early on, did not want anything more than that. So 4th and 4 from inside the 50-yard line for UMass. We'll wait with bated breath to see if they'll punt the football. Regular punter is Christian Carroll-Glenn. Kiefner got it away. Bounces down for Bryant. And he'll down it inside the 15-yard line. And here comes UMass for their second drive.
UMass has to see what we can do here to really get things going. If we're going to commit to the run game with Rocco Griffin, get some chunk plays, get some first downs, get everyone in a rhythm, and then see how can we get to the ball to the guys in the perimeter outside. Jaquan Gibson, T.Y. Harding. Who is going to be that guy who steps up and is able to contribute to really get this offense moving?
Rocco Griffin had 92 of those 94 yards in the first half against Temple. They were down so big at halftime, they couldn't run the ball in the second half, and they open for the first time at a 2-back set. Griffin off to the right, and the hand goes off right tackle, and some room to run as well to the outside on the right, and a first down for UMass for the first time.
This is exactly what we expected to see. When we were talking to the offensive coordinator yesterday, he said, look, I track how many touches our best players get. Jaquan Gibson, you want to get him involved early and often. You don't want to get him in the passing game just yet. Line him up in the backfield and hand the ball off to him.
We talked about Gibson off the top. He had 20 targets, 12 catches last week. Throwing this time, quick game, got it back to Gibson, sidesteps and went nowhere. So you can see it. They want the ball in Tu's hands after a great spring camp. Put him where he is now.
He's ready for the opportunity. The staff sees it in him, and they're going to go in full-fledged and say, hey, how can we get number 2 the ball? How can we get number 24 the ball as well? And who else is going to step up to earn some of those manufactured touches?
19 yards of total offense. This is a second UMass drive. They'll let Rocco Griffin run some routes too, and they do from empty. Rose underneath, tight window, made the play. Jaquan Gibson, third touch of the drive, first down, Minutemen.
Extremely tight window throw there by Rose. He humps the ball in there. He knows it. Hey, he doesn't have a lot of time, doesn't have a lot of space. Throws it with velocity, gets it in there, and his guy makes a play for him.
You can see there was one place Rose wanted to go with that football. First and 10. UMass threatening Bryant territory for the first time. And Griffin has a yard or two. UMass lost its top 2 leading rushers from last season. A 2-10 year. Griffin, playing in his 6th year of college football, leads a room that also has Brandon Hood and Jawan Price. We've seen them in passing situations a lot. But they feel like not only can they run the football, they need to run the football to be good offensively.
They do. That's how you set up a young and inexperienced quarterback to help him make plays in the passing game as the game goes on.
Sets up this, Rose to the outside. It was nearly intercepted. Trey Krause diving after it. It brings up third down and long, the place that UMass was in a lot last week.
You don't want to be in this position, and that was really dangerous on the quarterback's part. You want him, if I'm going to throw the ball away, throw it all the way out of bounds. Make sure that no one has an opportunity to make a play like that. You see Bryant getting pressure on him when he tries to get out of the pocket. Bryant's got to make the day hard for Brandon Rose when they want to do some drop back passing.
That was Gideon Badada, the Murray State transfer. Sets up a place where UMass was 3 for 11 on 3rd down last week. Brandon Rose, straight drop back. Had time down the pipe, and he put it right on the money. Donnie Gray with his second UMass catch, the Northwestern transfer.
That's a great job. The quarterback has a great line of sight to get the ball to him in man-to-man coverage over the middle. You see it here. Offensive line gives him a great pocket. He puts the ball right in his playmaker's hands. That's a tough play for the DB there.
Inside the Bryant 40 on their second drive. Brandon Rose again, looking deep down the pipe again, high. And Gray couldn't reel it in. Had Sean Hunt in coverage.
That's a tough one. You had some momentum going there. You had your guy open. He made the right read, just has to bring the ball down. That's a big play potential right there to get some yak yards. Potentially, set him up to get in the red zone. He's going to want that one back for sure.
Brandon Rose in his career slung it. Did it at Utah. Was behind Cam Rising for a couple of years. Had injuries as he was fighting for some starting jobs, but had one career start. He almost beat a top 10 BYU team in it. And he transfers here to be the guy. Hands off to the right, and again, just nothing there for Brandon Hood. And this Bryant front that they felt great about is doing it early.
They're doing the same thing that we talked about UMass's defensive line doing on the other side. They're getting penetration, getting in the backfield. You have the pin and pull scheme here, trying to get to that boundary side with the running back. There's nowhere to run there for Hood.
Michael Lottie gets headlines in the middle, but they have other guys they feel good about. Max Villar, the graduate student from Miami. Bo Shugarts, the senior from Georgia. Sets up 3rd down and 11. UMass has converted 1 3rd down on this drive. This has been the spot where they've gone to Jaquan Gibson quite a bit. Bottom of your screen against Olatunde Mparu. Pressure shown, pressure comes. Rose flushed out to his right, got rid of it, and that was a blasting. Rocco Griffin goes nowhere. Bryant gets the stop.
Sometimes the defensive coordinator just calls the perfect play for the situation. You saw Rose trying to get them in a better protection set when he saw the zero-high safety look. Only problem with that is someone had the running back in man. He's just sitting there waiting for him. He sees that ball go in the air, makes a perfect break, great form tackle, stalls what was a really nice UMass drive there.
And for the second time on their second drive, UMass has to punt. Tristan Riley calling poison, out of play. And Bryant goes to work on their 3rd drive of the day. When we come back, had the long weather delay, still waiting for someone with some sunshine here in Amherst. No score, not much offense early between UMass and Bryant. Head coach Chris Merritt there. He said, you know, look, UMass looks at us as an FCS opponent. We have to look at them as an opportunity. And they rolled in here after last week. Give back up the middle for a gain of a few. Dylan Kedzior on the carry. They looked at this UMass team much like they did with New Mexico State last week. They put a scare into that team on the road as, yeah, obviously we're up against it, but this is a team we can beat.
They're not here to show up. That's what I meant earlier about taking on coach's mentality. They are here to compete and to win a game. You can see how they played last week, and they've started off the same way.
Brennan Meyer back to Kedzior. He's a big play threat. Nothing there on his first 2 of the day to bring up another 3rd down. Flags on the play as well. Referee David Hergert. Umpire Joel Schultz. Head line judge is Maeli Williamson. Christopher Hamilton's the line judge today.
Holding. Offense. Number 54. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Temple transfer John Fadgley on the hold. First penalty of the afternoon. But you could also see it last week when Bryant kind of started to realize, as you see the hold here, you could see it last week when Bryant started to realize, hey, not only are we in this game, we can beat New Mexico State.
They absolutely can, and they have the confidence, right? They have the experience, the veteran guys, the size up front on the offensive line to compete. But at some point, hey, you have to score points, you have to convert on 3rd down, and you have to get guys off of the field. So that's what they're trying to do this week in comparison to last week.
Brennan Meyer throwing again. Tried to find his back. It had nothing there. Pressure came from Marcus White. Again, the Dartmouth transfer's been in there a couple of times. And UMass gets in a spot it wasn't in a lot last week. 3rd and long defensively.
This is where Coach Kites wants to be. This is, you saw him bring in the sub package here. He gets to draw up those exotic blitzes, those unique coverages, all those things that, you know, make an O-lineman's job hard. They make that quarterback thinking there's pressure when there might not be. Looks like they're going to be in a drop 8 situation with only three down linemen. They're going to play to stop the 1st down and get the ball back to their offense with great field position.
Darion Craig, by the way, came back in, so he's healthy. Meyer throwing again to the sticks. It's picked off! Tyler Martin to the house!
Just a great read by Tyler there. I said they were going to sit at the sticks. He sits there and waits. All the routes turn up in curls. He takes advantage. Great play by the linebacker and closing for a touchdown. Looking at the replay here, just a great job reading the quarterback's eyes. When you get to sit at the sticks, you get to really play with vision there. Once he catches that, all he sees in front of him is green grass. Not a lot of linebackers are in that position, getting a chance to score a touchdown. So great opportunity for him there, and the exact thing that this defense needed.
PAT, no good. Hold left by Derek Morris, but that's not going to dampen the spirits. UMass, first pick 6 in a couple of seasons. Take us through it.
When you're looking at it, this is the exact position you don't want to be in as a young quarterback. We know he's a gunslinger. It's tough.
Kickoff after the touchdown was a touchback, so here comes Bryant from their own 25-yard line, and now you're a young quarterback, and Brendan Meyer got to bounce back from throwing a pick 6.
The head coach and your offensive coordinator, when you bring them to the sideline, you got to get them to just reset. Play's over, let's get going, get back in mode, and make another play.
This time they run action out to the right. Kedzior trying to work his way around. Grant Robinson had nothing there. And this is a UMass defense that maybe for the first time since the first half last week, that looks confident.
They're playing with a ton of confidence, particularly up front. On that last play, number 49, Chambray Jackson, does a great job turning the ball back in. Those jet sweeps, you want to get on the perimeter and make it tough for guys. He does a great job turning it back into his help. Great pursuit, make a great play.
Bryant moved the ball a couple of drives ago. Nothing yet here. Robinson off tackle left, and again, everyone in there. Charge led by Dean Schaefer, who was a captain for Yale last year in the middle of the UMass defense, along with Tim Passmore.
This is a great job again by UMass up front. You put him in another 3rd and long. You see him come in the sub package. One of the guys I have my eye on, number 19, Rashad Henry. It's a guy Coach mentioned was going to come in, play some linebacker, do some different things, ton of different skills. So I want to see what he's going to do up here, lined up, looking like he might be a blitzer on this play.
Last 3rd and long turned into a pick 6. Brendan Meyer off a play fake once again. Not deterred, deep shot. That time could not find his man Todd Phillips. Coverage came from TJ McGee, and UMass gets another stop.
UMass is building momentum. 2 great defensive drives in a row. Give your offense an opportunity to come back out, match that same energy. Looking to have some really great field position depending on how this punt plays out, and we're going to see what the offense can do from there.
Christian Carroll Glenn punting once again. 3rd Bryant punt. Samuel Badu back deep. Maybe returnable. Badu wants to. Sidesteps 1. Sidesteps 2. And on 3, 4, and 5. So UMass will start an offensive drive leading 6-0 on a touchdown. The offense didn't score, but you think about the last week really here, and Joe Harris-Simiak was very aware of what the fans were saying about frustration. And look, this is a program that's never had a winning season in FBS. They've been sold a lot of different bills of goods, but they feel like they have the culture in place. They feel like they have the people to do it. They feel like they have the right head coach to do it. And you'd have to imagine that when Tyler Martin caught that ball and ran into the end zone, that's a weight off everybody in Maroon, fans and players alike.
It absolutely is. Coach talked about getting guys that are bought into the vision and then learning how to win. That's what he's trying to build, and that was the first step to getting that done.
Handoff off right tackle right. Brandon Hood with a crease. And he steps out of bounds. UMass has its backup quarterback, at least on paper, in the game right here. Brandon Rose had the first few drives. Grant Jordan, the Yale transfer, is under center right now.
Coach is clearly looking to see who can give him some production. Maybe Grant has a couple of different tools in his bag than Brandon. That's what we're about to find out here as this drive keeps going on.
There is Grant Jordan. He was the starting quarterback for Yale at the FCS level last year. Threw for nearly 2,000 yards. Ran for 360. Run package left once again. Jaquan Griffin with a positive gain. And look, Brandon Rose won the job coming over from Utah. His offensive coordinator and Mike Bajakian came over from Utah with him. That was part of it. But UMass has capable backups. A.J. Hairston played last year, played well down the stretch, and Grant Jordan won a lot of games at Yale.
They have a ton of experience, particularly with their top 2 guys in terms of just time in college. So what can they get out of them that helps the offense get to the next level? That's what they're trying to figure out.
Got 2 more yards there with Brandon Hood. Jordan played a couple of snaps last week. He was 2 for 2 on his 2 throws. Played in an RPO offense at Yale. This is a little bit more under center, a little bit more spread it out from the shotgun too. 3rd down and 5 for Grant Jordan. Joe Harris-Simiak watching his first big decision maybe as head coach. Again, he keeps Grant Jordan flagged down, stays upright outside, and he's got the first down. We'll see if it holds up.
This is going to be a tough one. Looks like this play is going to come back. You get in 12 personnel and you're in a third and medium situation. Give your quarterback that option to make a play with his legs. Executed great on the front side, but we'll see what the penalty was. It's going to be a tough one that this one has to come back.
Illegal formation, offense. 5 players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat third down.
When you're looking at this here, the toughest thing to accept as a coach is a pre-snap penalty, whether it's alignment. You got your receiver off the ball here. We don't have enough guys on the line of scrimmage here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 off the ball. At least one of those guys has to be on the line somewhere. That's the difference in this play. It all happens pre-snap. You just need guys to know what their job is, align properly, and then be able to execute from then on.
Takes a 3rd down 5 conversion, and now 3rd down and 10 for Grant Jordan on his first drive as the UMass quarterback. Yale transfer. Jordan just ran for 1. Space and time, flush to his right, still looking. Grant Jordan fake, now he runs to the outside, slipped a tackle. He's got the first down. Ran for it on 3rd and 5, sprinted for it on 3rd down and 10, and he picks it up.
I think a great asset for this offense is that both quarterbacks that we've seen play in this game so far are willing runners, and they're going to be able to make guys miss in the open field. That's a great job, taking advantage of the O-line, giving you a great pocket, escaping when you have to, and doing what you can with the picture you're given.
And that'll be the final play of this first quarter. So far today, we've had tornado warnings, we've had thunderstorms, we've had a 2-hour delay, we have a couple of catches, we have a pick 6, and now we got a quarterback change. And we got 3 quarters to go in Amherst. Back live in Amherst, UMass driving. Grant Jordan, the quarterback on this drive for the first time. The Yale transfer in for Brandon Rose. On first down and 10 from inside the Bryant 30-yard line. Fake to Griffin, let Rose run. And not much there, Jordan that is. Brandon Rose, we're looking at the sideline. He's not on the sideline, so we presume he's back in the locker room. No update yet really in any direction, but for Grant Jordan, this is an opportunity here.
It absolutely is. He's already got the offense driving and they're in rhythm. That pass run right there, he really had the puller set up well for him. I would have liked to see him cut inside off of his block, and that could have been a bigger play there.
Give to Brandon Hood, and once again, middle of that line, there's just been nothing. Brandon Perkins, the New Hampshire transfer out of that great CAA program, led the charge.
Again, just seeing white jerseys in the backfield constantly. Those guys up front, Audie and the crew, they're doing their job, and all these different pull schemes that UMass is trying to run, they're making it really hard, and these linebackers are coming down and filling gaps really well.
This feels like a big early 3rd down and 9. UMass's one touchdown came on a pick 6. Against Bryant defense, it's been pretty good so far. Griffin in the backfield for Grant Jordan. On 3rd down 8. Deep shot, look down the middle, found Jake McConaughey. He's wrestled down, but not before he clears the sticks.
The best thing about having a big body target like him, he gets inside position. Basically, hey, just try and hit him on the chest. He's going to be able to shield off a defender who's much smaller than him. Comes up limping on the play, but, you know, does a great job of securing the ball. And now we get into the red zone for the first time. UMass is really building on what they've got going on offense and looking to go up 2 scores.
Jake McConaughey, former walk-on at Pitt, slow to come off. Again to Brandon Hood, shook a tackle, eyes for the end zone, and he's there! UMass touchdown!
That defensive line that we had been talking about doing such a great job, they finally had a tough time getting some penetration there. Hood makes a great jump cut, gets to that left side, and his wide receiver do an outstanding job blocking downfield to give him a chance to, he's clear to the end zone.
Colorado transfer, first career touchdown. He'll be watching this tape for the rest of his life.
This is one he's gonna love, man. I mean, you don't get touched until you're at the 1.5-yard line. He's seeing red, literally and figuratively, with the end zone being, you know, dark red there. Great job on his part, finishing it off. Like I said, man, really just want to highlight those receivers who did an outstanding job making that easy for him.
This time the PAT is good for Derek Morris. UMass has a pick 6 in this game, and now they have 13. Brandon Hood out of the backfield, his first career touchdown for the Minutemen. Get all of ESPN college football all in one place with the all-new ESPN app. Unlock with the ESPN Unlimited plan or log in with your TV provider. Worth a watch for all that and this as we welcome you back to Amherst. UMass off to a very good start against Bryant out of the FCS alongside Trey Watson, Cooper Boardman. We had a 2-hour tornado warning, lightning, rain, all of the above delay. But 2 hours later, after we didn't have much, Joe Harris-Simiak and UMass off to a great start.
It took the group a quarter to get going almost, but you know, now that they've really been in the flow of things, sparked it off with the interception return for a touchdown. Both sides are clicking right now.
Elijah Williams on the return, deep kick, took it across the 25 and gets Bryant positive yardage. So their sophomore quarterback starting his 9th career game. And Brennan Meyer throws a pick 6. Then they have to punt the football, and now a chance to respond.
This is an opportunity where you have to, at the very least, get a couple first downs. One, you have to give your defense a chance to breathe, right? They've been on the field, long sustained drive just now, but you need to build some momentum. Hopefully try and get some points on the board to start getting into this lead and have your quarterback feeling like he's into the flow of the game.
They'll let him throw. Had a man open and put it right on Kobe Keenan, who's got a first down catch for Bryant. That's a good start.
All of the connections that he's had so far that have looked really well have been with the tight end. Tight ends are his safety blanket right now. He knew he was about to get hit. Hey, you got to step into the throw. You got to deliver a good ball. He puts it on his tight end right there on the money. Gets his hands in, gets the foot down. Carries it through the process of the catch there. That's what they needed to get this drive going.
That was Darion Craig speeding. Brennan Meyer again in the pocket, took the check down that time and got half of the first down yardage. Elijah Elliott's been active in the passing game out of the backfield.
What I'm seeing right now is that it looks like Brennan has finally settled into the flow of the game. He's going through his reads. He sees that everything downfield is covered. His O-line gave him enough time to look to that check down. Now you hit your running back, see if he can go make somebody miss one-on-one. But that's 2 plays in a row where he's looking a lot better than what the staff was looking for him to get going at the start of the game.
Throwing again. They like to flush him. They do this time. Had time to throw and put it right on the money. Aldrich Doe has his second catch. Top target last week.
3 straight completions there for Brennan. You keep getting Doe involved in the game. That's going to be your vertical threat, your guy who can create mismatches in a ton of different ways. Get your quarterback out on the fringe, line him up, puts the ball on the money again. We've got offense rolling right now.
He's so good on the run too.
Absolutely. That's, you know, hey, your quarterback has to earn his money both inside and outside of the pocket, creates different looks for the defense, and just frees your quarterback up to move in different ways. That was a great look at it right there.
Run to Elijah Elliott out of the pistol. He's got a few more yards. Bryant could not run the ball last week. Struggled to run the ball on early downs against a big front that moves around a lot. And they'll see that again today with UMass. It's been the case early that it's been hard up front.
The UMass unit up front has done an excellent job, much like the New Mexico State unit from a week ago. We just saw a full platoon swap there for the defensive line. New group of guys coming in fresh, ready to keep going, keep getting penetration, and hopefully stall what is a great drive so far for Bryant.
UMass lost Josh Nobles, one of their top transfers on the D-line last week for the season. Myers got time because of it. Shoots it out right side. Tristan Riley in the area, but nothing there with Kendall Bournes in coverage.
We knew coming in, UMass was going to play man coverage in past situations. Today, so far, they're doing a much better job of, in those situations, contesting the ball and making it hard, finishing plays. That's what the coach wanted to see get improved from last week to this week, and so far they're doing a great job at that. You're in a 3rd and 6-ish situation right here. You can probably heat them up.
They're down 6. Meyer down the left side. A little long for Zaheem Kalik, but a flag down.
Looks like they're going to get Brennan Bailey there with a tug towards the end of the route. Quarterback did a really good job of putting that ball out outside and in front. His wide receiver left him room to hit him on the sideline there, and without that grab, that might have been a touchdown.
Pass interference, defense, number 12. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Malcolm Green, transfer who started his college career at Clemson and Virginia, is out today, one of their top corners. And Bailey's a good example of a guy in his third year now at UMass who gets an opportunity on a day like today, and Bryant's gone at him.
You know, when you're out there and you're playing man coverage, those outside corners are on an island a lot. You just have to trust your technique. When you're in position, you have to know in phase, out of phase, playing through the ball. That one's just a tough one there. He panicked a little bit.
Myers got a man. Riley couldn't reel it in.
Ooh, that one's going to hurt. Brennan is going to want that one back, man. You got a guy created great separation. You had the right idea. You made the right read. You just want to finish that play right there. That's a tough one.
The look of pain on your face right there. Man.
I feel for my guy Brennan there, man. It was done well. The receiver did what he asked him to do.
So much of last week for these guys was move the ball, get closer, and just couldn't punch it in. Still sitting here waiting for their first touchdown of the season in the red zone. They felt like they needed 6 in these spots. Outside right, Elliott, had nothing. Ryan Barnes, who was a game-time decision today, makes his first play along with Heinz Peter.
That's a great job by the linebacker there. Again, they just keep coming back to this man coverage, doing a great job down the field, making those windows tight. Quarterback tries to check it down, get that guy on the ground right now. We're in a 3rd and 13 situation. This is going to be a tough one.
Third down and long. Those who stuck through the tornado warning making themselves heard. Brennan Meyer on 3rd down to the end zone again. Caught, but out of bounds. Zaheem Colick held it, but juggled it to the ground. And UMass, barring review, has the stop.
That was an excellent job there by Colick, concentrating and being able to even get his hands on the ball at all. Again, the DB there, Sexwell, is in great position. Quarterback puts it up and gives him a chance. Honestly, I'd really like to take a second look at that if I'm Bryant, because it looked like he had a chance to get that foot in before it hit the white.
And you'll get your chance right here. Bryant is 0 for 5 on 3rd down for the moment. I mean, you talk about just a fun factor here. They're letting Meyer sling it.
They really are. We knew he had a gunslinger mentality, and the coach told us, we trust our guy. We are going to let him go out and win us a football game. They came in here to compete. This is a great job giving your guy a chance. Oh, it looks like that toe is just going to be outside on the white. It's really hard for him to be able to make that play with such limited space there. The ball hung up in the air a little bit. Like I said, the fact that he even, gets 2 hands on the ball with the DB's arm draped all in between, excellent effort. Just needed a couple more inches there on the sideline.
Chris Merritt is hoping this will be the first touchdown of Bryant's season. He, like we, are going to find out that Joe Harris-Simiak's defense got the stop there. It was Raheem Sexwell in coverage. 13-0 start for UMass. I figure Bryant is going to kick a field goal here. Bryce Soley, who's got a big leg. He hit a 43-yarder last week. But tell you what, Bryant's moving the football here early against this UMass defense.
This is exactly what I talked about at the beginning of the drive, right? You can't have back-to-back-to-back possessions and just lose the flow of the game. So, I think it's going to end up being they have to kick the field goal here on 4th down. You want to capture some points to keep that momentum going from the great drive you had. 4th and 13 at the fringe of the red zone. There's no way you can risk going for it. Take your points, keep it, turn it into a 10-point game, and then you have to capitalize moving forward.
There you go. So they stick with the call on the field, which was very clearly the correct call on the field of an incompletion. So a 38-yard try for Bryce Soley. Made a 43-yarder last week against New Mexico State. Trying to get Bryant on the board in Amherst. And he does with ease. Bryce Soley makes this a 16-3 ball game for Chris Merritt. Bryant drives, gets themselves on the board. 10-point game here in the second quarter. Back in Western Massachusetts, where the flagship UMass has a 13-3 lead. The band was scrambling for cover today when we had the tornado warnings going. Closing the flute cases real quick.
Got to protect the equipment, man. That stuff's expensive.
Felt like they had the cymbals out, all the thunder, but we survived it. And those who have stuck around, it's a little bit of a lighter crowd than we had really with the tailgaters out early, but those who stuck around have seen their hometown team score the first couple of touchdowns of this game. Bryant just scored on a 37-yard field goal. And a fair catch called for to put the UMass offense back out there. If you're just joining us, their starter Brandon Rose, the Utah transfer, didn't come out a couple of drives ago. We're told he's back in the locker room. So Grant Jordan, the Yale transfer's come out, and he piloted the offense to a touchdown the last time out.
He did. He came out and nothing changed. It looked like the offense was extremely fluid. They put it in their guys' hands. There were some design runs he took advantage of with the zone read situations. You know, get a couple good pass plays in there, and then Hood finished it off with a really great run to seal the drive. But a lot of momentum for the offense going in, and you want to just kind of keep building on that, see if they can extend this lead here midway through the second quarter.
And there with the starting back, Rocco Griffin. On 1st and 10 from the 25 for UMass. Let him throw on the flush to the right. Threw it right to Bryant. Azrael Justa picks it off, and the Bulldogs get a huge stop.
That throws a huge wrench in this game, man. I mean, He had guys open. It looked like he was trying to hit the second level target on the deep out. He had a flat right in front of him. This is just the kind of plays you want to avoid. This is the stuff that got them in trouble last week with Rose in the game. Throws it right in between. Bryant does a great job taking advantage. Now they have the ball back. They can close this lead gap, and they're at the 34-yard line going in with prime position to really, like I said, just change this game.
Freshman played a lot of snaps last year. Now he's a sophomore. Azrael Juice has played in 2 games this year for Bryant. He has interceptions in both of them. You're right. This stops this game cold.
It really does. Now Bryant really knows, hey, we came to compete. We're competing.
Incomplete. Sterling Anderson on the outside was hand fighting his way down the pylon. Stop from TJ McGee on the outside.
More sticky coverage there on the outside. We saw a couple times the Bryant wide receivers were able to get some separation last drive. They weren't able to capitalize on it though. But for the most part, UMass has been challenged, particularly, as this second quarter's gotten going. They're standing up to the challenge so far.
78 yards of total offense for Bryant. 68 of those have come through the air. With Brennan Meyer, he's thrown it 18 times. This time they run the reverse. Anderson racing for the edge. He got there, but got tracked down from behind by Darion Craig. That's a long way to run for 3 yards.
It is, and that's a veteran staying home doing his job. You look at the replay, the biggest thing this misdirection can cause is guys lose their eyes and aren't in position to make a play. Craig does a great job pursuing to the ball, closes. You do all that work for a 2-yard gain. That's frustrating as an offense when you thought you had the edge.
Joe Harris-Simiak said we could be good on 3rd down if they're 3rd down and longs. Well, it's been mostly 3rd down and longs for Bryant. They're 0 for 5.
Trying to make it 0 for 6 here.
On 3rd down and 9. Brennan Meyer off the play fake again. Looks to his right, ducks it underneath. Elliott dragged down short of the sticks. Tyler Martin has a pick 6 and now a tackle on 3rd down.
When Tyler Martin's come into the game, it's been on the sub package, the 3rd down situations. So far, 2 for 2 on when the ball comes his way. He's doing his job, making great plays, helping his team get in the end zone, and in this situation, get off the field, forcing what looks like it's going to be a really long field goal try.
Kid from Acton, Massachusetts, playing for his home state, who said, I don't want to leave here. He's been through coaching changes, 3 of them over 4 years. Said, I don't want to leave here until this place is great. UMass was late getting a man off the field, so I think they burned a timeout last second. They did. Brennan Bailey was sprinting off ahead of a 47-yard attempt that we will see when we come back. 10-point game, Bryant kicking to make it 7 on the other side. Bryce Soley is about to attempt a career-long 47-yard field goal. Trying to make this a 7-point game for Bryant. Bryce Soley, not enough leg. Needed 1 yard.
Super tough, man. Look, he put all of his leg into it. Sometimes when you do that a little too much, it lifts the ball up in the air. Oh, that's a tough feeling, man. All that work done in with the interception, getting great field position and not being able to capitalize on it. That's one that Coach Merritt and the staff are going to be really frustrated about for a while.
See him try to will it with his body.
Whatever you got to do to make that ball go in, man.
He hit a 43-yarder last week against New Mexico State. That would have been good from 47. But it's UMass ball on 1st and 10 from the 30. Handoff right side. And the run for Rocco Griffin. He pushed the pile forward for a gain of 8 and a good start for UMass.
Absolutely. That's the one thing that I'd say so far offensively for UMass has been missing is Rocco getting going. He had a couple short carries early on. Hasn't really been factoring into what they've been doing offensively. Hood has had the majority of the splash plays in the run game. That's a good start, though, getting 9 yards on first down.
Grant Jordan, the quarterback. He was their backup coming into the day. Brandon Rose is in the locker room. So the Yale transfer is in, guy who beat Harvard in the game last year. This time he gave to Griffin again. He was twirled down well short of the sticks, and it brings up 3rd down and inside 3 for the Minutemen.
That guy we circled in pregame, Michael Oddie, instantly in the backfield on that last play. Wasn't able to get him on the ground, but that disruption, that forcing to change the direction with the running back, that's what killed that play right there. And it's something you expect from number 9 on a consistent basis, making an impact in the game.
Got him lined up over the left guard. Sullivan Weidman, their regular left guard, is out today. They're rotating some bodies in there. Single back set, handoff up the middle, head down, and a first down for the Minutemen. Brandon Hood got the job done, and they move the sticks.
It's a good run there to convert 3rd and short. You got to do what you got to do to get the ball and keep the chains moving. Now how can we reset first down and get in range for some more points?
$118 yards of total offense for UMass. 79 of them on the ground. And it sets up a pass chance. Grant Jordan, deep shot. He's got Griffin inside the 10. Jaquan Gibson.
You get your best player in the open field. This is what you give him a chance to do. Go and make a play on the ball. He gets one-on-one coverage on the outside. The play action deep shot. You're in perfect range to do it. Number 2 goes out and makes a play. That's all you can say. Got to outstretch those arms. Do what you got to do. Now we're inside the 10-yard line, prime position to get another touchdown.
Juwan Price in the backfield, first down and 10, and 3rd and final timeout now for Joe Harris-Simiak. So they burned 3 timeouts, all in formation situations.
I was just about to say that. It's really tough to have to burn all your timeouts with this much time on the clock, but I'm not mad at them wanting to maximize this possession inside the 10-yard line. We saw last week, 4 downs from the 3-yard line and on. They're not able to convert. You want to get your best plays inside the 10, maximize this opportunity, get these points, stretch the lead out as much as you possibly can going into half, and then do what you got to do after that. The timeouts are secondary to making a play.
Joe Harris-Simiak last week, you know, we asked him just kind of about his messaging to the fans. I would ask them to reflect on anything in their life it's been really hard to do. If you don't give up, you put yourself in position to turn the thing around. I understand why they feel the way they feel, and they should. Losing is not acceptable, but you have to go through the hard stuff and build an identity. Look, these are, and he gets it. I mean, he was so unbelievably honest and real with us when we talked to him yesterday, that this fan base has been through a lot of hard times over the last decade plus. but there's belief in the room, and they're inside the 10. Grant Jordan again, handoff Rocco Griffin. That time all of Bryant was there. Charge led in the middle by Dixon Hudson.
Going back to what you were saying before that play, the biggest thing is coach understands that you have to build winning. You have to understand that losing is not acceptable, and you have to learn how to win, learn how to get the most out of your program and what motivates your guys to get there. That's the mode that they're in right now.
Under center, Brandon Hood, play fake now. Grant Jordan looking, time, he'll step up. He can run, and he will. Down to the 5, 3rd down and goal.
It's a really good job by your quarterback protecting the ball there. When you get in the red zone, the last thing you can do is force something that you don't have to force when you have points on the table. He pulls the ball down, gets what he can get. 3rd and 5, now you just have to make a play.
A few times last week, UMass was in this exact situation. Red zone turnover, albeit with a different quarterback. Grant Jordan's already helped him lead a touchdown drive today. Grant Jordan again on 3rd and goal, flush to his right. Out there, pressure coming, stutters by 1. On his way, he dives! Touchdown Minutemen! Grant Jordan!
Sometimes in life, you're going to draw up a great play and it's going to work out perfect. Other times, you just need your players to go out there and make something happen. Be a football player, be a gamer. Looking at the replay, man, it's not really open. They're trying to get the ball to Gibson out here on the right side. It's not there. He makes a linebacker miss in the open field. He's seeing that end zone. He goes and makes a play. That's exactly what you're looking for. Stretch that lead just like we're talking about, and UMass is feeling great as we're winding down this first half.
Dude ran a lot at Yale. Beat Harvard by running last year. And he's got UMass up 20-3. Point after good from Derek Morris. Trey after this.
Excellent play. You get one-on-one opportunity against the linebacker. You got to make a miss. Whatever you do to get to that end zone, man. He says, I really want to build this program from the ground up. We want to use recruiting like the draft and the portal like free agency. And that kind of just etches out what you're in the modern world of NIL and trying to really build a program from scratch. He understands, what the outlook is and what he has to do to set the standard for the program and bring it to the next level moving forward.
It's a hard thing as a coach. Like, you have to win to get people to come, but you also need people to come to win.
It's a really tough balance. You have to sell them on the vision of the future of the program and understanding where it's at right now and the roadmap to getting there. Not everyone's going to understand, not everyone's going to fit that mold, and that's what he's trying to do, is find the players that are right for him, right for the program here with UMass.
And you look at his quarterback room, it's a great example, right? Brandon Rose, Utah transfer. Grant Jordan, Yale transfer. And you got a kid from Yale playing really well for him. He scored both their touchdowns, or at least led the drives that led there. And now the Bryant quarterback in Brennan Meyer. The last play was incomplete, intended for Aldrich Doe. Second play of the drive, and a give to Dylan Kedzior. Buffalo transfer gets 3 yards, and it sets up 3rd down and 6 or 7.
Going to be a tough spot here. You really want to convert, build off all the success that they'd had the last couple drives prior to the 3 and out. It seems like they're really close in the passing game, right? He just misses Doe there. They had some shots towards the scoring zone where, again, just outside the fingertips of his wide receivers, a little high there, a little further inside, and this score looks completely different. This is an opportunity for Brennan to rectify all that by making a play.
Does feel like we've been in the spot all day. Third down, 5+ for Bryant. They're 0 for 6 on third. And they open in empty. Big bodies, bottom of your screen. Brennan Meyer looks for one down the middle. He's got the little man, Tristan Riley, for the conversion.
Great job here, trusting what you see and throwing it in the window. This guy knows he might take a big hit there by the linebacker. He reels the ball in, gets a couple yards after, and moves the chains, and now we're in a hurry-up situation.
Kedzior got the fake. Brennan Meyer on the run. He lowered the shoulder. A little grit for a first down.
I love it about these quarterbacks in this game on both sides. They are going to compete. They are going to finish runs. You don't want them doing it all the time, but when they have an opportunity, finish that run, keep things going, and motivate your team.
2-minute timeout here in Amherst.
Because it's so close and because that clip, that right there, the tunnel screen is basically like a run play, counts as a pass on the stat sheet. So kudos to number 9 for getting those extra yards there. But they got a great job blocking that, clear the lane, and man, they are feeling this end zone. They want to get in so bad.
Still have not scored a touchdown in 5, nearly 6 quarters of football this year. Brennan Meyer again took a high snap and play faked and takes a shot to the end zone. It is caught! Touchdown! Zaheem Kalik.
I hate to say I told you so. It looks like there's a flag there on the play. That's tough. I hope this isn't going to bring it back. But man, regardless of whether the play gets upheld or not, that was that perfect connection. Great job by the quarterback putting the ball where only his guy could make a play. Wide receiver left him plenty of room on the sideline. Hate to see this one taken back and take the air out of the sail for the offense.
Ineligible man downfield. So Bryant felt the joy of what it was like to score their first touchdown of the season and then had it taken away from him on a penalty.
That's a tough play. As a defensive guy myself, I love when I hear those calls because the RPOs are so hard. But that ball came out really quick. So honestly, I'm surprised that someone was able to get downfield far enough for them to call that in that one. But that's a saving grace for the UMass defense.
Gives him first down and 15. This time a handoff. Robinson down the pipe, hit the referee and falls down at the 10. Clock still rolling. I think if Stripes wasn't there, that might have been 6.
It really could have been. And they say the referees are part of the field of play, and that's why situations like that happen. But this Bryant offense is really getting whatever they want right now. Running game, passing game, even with the penalty of the prior play, they're moving the ball.
Inside the 10, manageable again. Fake to Robinson, slant route to the right side. Flag down, caught, touchdown. We'll wait for the flag. This should count, and Zaheem Kalik has the TD he craved.
The second time this drive is the charm. His quarterback keeps giving him opportunities. He's in position. Ball is right on his chest. I'm hoping that this isn't a targeting penalty.
The result of the play is a touchdown. After the play, personal foul, targeting, defense, number 13. The previous play is under further review.
They called Raheem Sexel for it, and he took the brunt of that as well. 48 seconds to go. Bryant has a touchdown. Zaheem Kalik will count it. Now you hope that Sexel's okay. I mean, that is 2 guys going as hard as they can right there.
That was a tough collision. I think they meant to call the foul on Kendall Bournes, who was the one who lowered his shoulder and initiated the contact there on number 8. It looked like Bournes did everything he could to avoid, one, lowering his head because that wide receiver's target gets so small there at the point of contact. He didn't, lead any forcible elbow or forearm contact. So, going to be interesting to see what happens with this review. Man, it's a really hard job as a defensive player when the wide receiver is catching the ball and you're talking about, a 5'10" target becomes a 3-foot target while you're moving as fast as you possibly can. So we'll see what they do on this one. I'm hoping this one gets removed and we're able to continue to see them compete out there, and hopefully the other DB is all right as well.
Taking a look to see if this is in fact targeting. I mean, you've lived it as a defensive player about, I mean, that is, there's honestly, there's nothing you can do as a defensive player.
The game just moves too fast, and honestly, I think if people know my history, they think I'm the wrong one to talk about it. I might have the career high for targetings with 5, and if you ask me, not one of the 5 was justified. But that's a whole nother story. In this
Now, get you on your soapbox.
In this instance right here, I mean, you look at the play again, he really does turn his shoulder.
Good and bad.
The zone coverage is leaving windows right now. It's really easy as a quarterback when you can step into your throws and your wide receivers are facing directly at you. You get those curls, you get those quick hitches and things like that. They're moving the chains right now. Kelly's responded from the penalty that didn't hurt him in the end. Now he's making some plays in the passing game.
One of 13 transfers starting for UMass. Guy who had 1 catch in 2 years at USF has more catches than that on this drive. Brandon Hood the back. He's running off to the left, cut it upfield, and takes it for a positive first down gain. That was a mark of UMass's good drives in the opening half.
When Hood came into the game as a change of pace, he was experiencing a lot more success in the run game than Griffin was prior to now. What I'm interested to see is at some point this drive, things are going really well, but do they get their guy Gibson involved? Coach wants to get him targets. This drive's going really well. Icing on the cake might be getting the ball in your best player's hands.
Jaquan Gibson, top of your screen, led them in catches in the first half. Grant Jordan, initial looks there. Got pressured though, had to flush. Stays behind the line and dumps it short near the sticks for completion. He just keeps making plays, found Reese Adkins for the first time and sets up 3rd down and close to start the 3rd quarter.
Like you said, look right Gibson's way. It wasn't open. There might have been a little bit of a miscommunication there on the route. But hey, I'll take 4 or 5 yards for free any chance I can get it. Your big tight end standing right there. It's an easy play. Now it puts you in a position you feel really confident to convert.
3rd down inside a yard for Grant Jordan. Hood the running back once again, and they gave it to him. It was twisted out of nowhere. That's Maximus Villar, the Maximus.
Stymied a play that it looked like there might have been some potential there if they were able to get that seal block. You had the tight end coming back. It looks like he's responsible for the end. He doesn't see him get right to the running back. He could have tackled the running back and the quarterback if he wanted to be honest. And, you know, stymies what was a really great drive. UMass has to see if they can collect 3 here.
Derek Morris. They're a little late getting a offensive lineman on the field. Kyle Brown did get on. You have some offensive linemen down in the game, and it sets up this 37 yards. And no good. Derek Morris from 37 hit from 40 into the win last week. And there is full-on life for Bryant.
That's tough. You have a great offensive drive. Bad play messes it up late. It looked like if the kick would have had a good trajectory, it probably was going to get blocked. There was a Bryant defender coming right up the middle there. That might have ended up even worse. So UMass has to come back out on defense and get a stop for a Bryant offense that had a ton of confidence to end the first half.
Bryant blocked PAT last week against New Mexico State. You're right, they got pressure again there. And here you go, kid. Brennan Meyer, first year as the full-time starter behind Jarrett Guest, who threw for nearly 2,000 yards last year. He sat and waited. He watched his defense ultimately get a stop. And now the first Bryant drive out of the FCS starts with Meyer, who looks to his left and drills a pass right on the money to the outside for a first down.
Brennan's last 5 passes or so have looked really great. He really has settled into the game. His wide receivers are doing a good job of getting open for him. Tristan Riley there. We saw Zaim Collick at the end of the first half doing the same thing. Can they even incorporate Aldrich Doe into that moving forward? This passing game looks like it's really finally woken up and could be a difference in closing this gap.
Meyer's over 120 yards throwing. They've thrown the ball a lot. They're doing it again. He wants a shot this time. Riley pulled up. He had some hand fighting too with Jeremiah McGill, and then a flag comes out.
That was an extremely late flag, but it was a well called for flag because unfortunately he felt the wide receiver about to separate from him, pulled the jersey. What happens at times is, sometimes certain referees don't have a great angle to necessarily see the hold, so that might have been what took it so long to be revealed. But I mean, you see the white jersey coming out, that left arm of the DB extended.
Defense, number 6. The ball we placed at the spot of the foul, automatic, first down.
That's going to be a call, 10 times out of 10 as long as the referee's able to see it.
See the pain on the face of Joe Harris-Simiak, who has a secondary today that's big time depleted. Teron Daniel is usually playing in the position that you just saw McGill make the mistake in. He's out today, so McGill repped at strong safety this week, and it gives Bryant a first down. Bryant's never beaten an FBS opponent. Grant Robinson pushing 5 or 6. You can see it too in the body language. Ryan Dirksen, the right guard, got up, had something to say. This is not just a Bryant team that believes. This is a Bryant team that wants to do it.
They absolutely do it, and they can feel it. When they came out to start the second half before the kickoff, the whole sideline had an energy. They're dancing. They're feeling what is potentially about to happen. They come out and get a huge stop defensively when they had given up a couple big plays, and now the offense is responding.
Second down manageable. Fake to Robinson, get it out, and it's dropped. Levi Wilkins.
Those are those gimme plays, man. Those are the ones you just shake your head and say, we can't miss them. You want to beat a team that you know is going to play you really tough. When you have opportunities like that, the simple ones, we have to execute, we have to follow through. He had potential there for sure to get the first down and loses out on an easy opportunity.
A lot of drops last week for Bryant, where they put a scare into New Mexico State out of the FBS, but couldn't make it go. Sets up 3rd down and 5. They've converted 2 out of their last 3. Brennan Meyer again, looking, throwing, down the pipe, he's got him. Tough catch in traffic, it was made. Elijah Elliott out of the backfield, and it's pay dirt.
That's a big play there. We see the UMass patented man coverage on passing down situations. They're in it once again. It looked like Aldrich Doe might have come up across the middle on a drag route. Could have been a huge play, but nonetheless, you get the completion to your back, you get the first down, you keep those chains rolling, and now we're in enemy territory, man. We're trying to finish this drive with points if we're Bryant. Make this a one-score, three-point game.
Saw the emotion from Elliott. Got hurt last year, missed most of the season at Montana State. Came here to finish. Meyer again, down the seam. He's got a man. Elliott makes the catch. There he goes.
Exactly what we were talking about. You give a team life, they feel like they can compete. They know they can compete, I should say, and they go out and execute. The defense did their job, holding them to no points at the end. Offense comes out and responds.
43 yards. This is how.
It's that rail route right up the seam with the running back. When you play man coverage, you put some guys who may be athletically challenged compared to the guy they're covering in a tough spot. It's a really hard play for the linebacker to make. You know you likely don't have any help. Running back gets open, hits him in stride, off to the races.
Bryce Soley tacks on the extra point. So UMass had a field goal to take a 13-point lead. They miss it. Bryant comes back, drives down, and then Brennan Meyer gets the job done to Elijah Elliott. We have a 3-point game in the 3rd quarter. FCS who? Come into the game and he zipped 3 right on the money.
He's come in and not acted like a guy who has limited experience. He's throwing the ball. Clearly he's comfortable with his reads, and what that's credit to is him during the week being involved in the game plan. As QB3, the odds of you coming into the game start off really, really low. But here he is in crunch time with playing super meaningful minutes in this football game, and he looks prepared.
With his team way up against it against an FCS team. And he's throwing again. He's looking downfield. Now he rolls to his left. Pressure coming, decides to tuck. So the story of the day, Brandon Rose started, Utah transfer. He went out with an injury. He's been on the sideline with his arm in a sling all day. Then Grant Jordan came in. Yale transfer, moved the football quite a bit. We'll have eyes on him on the sideline. But either way, regardless of why he's out of the game, now it's A.J. Hairston o'clock.
It really is, and you can see based on his limited stats from last year, the biggest thing that sticks out to me is he takes care of the ball. He's not throwing interceptions. He's come out here, and again, credit to him for being prepared for this moment. So far, he's living up to it, and he's got a chance to keep this drive going and put up some points for UMass.
On 2nd and 10. He's dropped back every time. Now QB run. Flag down behind the play despite the 9 he got.
It's crazy how life works. I was just getting ready to credit this O-line with really protecting all three of their quarterbacks, and it looks like when a flag is in that area of the backfield, it's almost always a holding. It seemed like Hairston got out of there pretty quick to get a hold, and nothing stuck out, but there you have it.
2nd down.
Unlike, by the way, Brandon Rose, who was not on the UMass sideline, Grant Jordan is standing on the sideline right now with his helmet on, not far from his head coach. So, again, we don't know. We're not on the sideline, but this feels a lot more of a coach's decision. You see Grant right there than anything else.
It does. There certainly wasn't any noticeable injury, and it doesn't seem like anything's wrong with him right now. If they needed him to go back in the game, he looks prepared. Sometimes when you're really trying to build a program out and you're just starting from scratch, you have to see who can give you a chance.
Jaquan Gibson had no chance. Michael Grant makes the stop. Look at Bryant.
They are into this game. There's no more, can we do it? Will we do it? They are actively doing it. You have a team in 3rd and forever. You're looking at an opportunity to get the ball back and go and take the lead, which is something, even at halftime after the good drive they had, we weren't talking about that just yet. That's what we're looking at right now.
3rd down and 9 million. A.J. Hairston again. Left side, incomplete. Jaquan Griffin in the area, 2 more Bryant defenders there. Dorian Helm watched it fly. And after penalties back them up, UMass has to punt. Bryant will have a chance, if they get this ball, to take the lead on the road.
They are exactly where they want to be. They are feeling it, and it's going to be up to UMass to potentially stop this momentum. We'll see what they can do. Hairston kind of put the ball in there, and there was a tough spot there. Gibson might have been open, but at the same time, 3rd and very long, really low odds of converting that. I would have liked to see a draw or a screen or something easy to maybe just shorten this distance, help your punter out.
It's closer to an interception than anything else.
It was.
Keegan Andrews just got it away. Fair catch called for. And Riley takes it at the 10-yard line. 90 yards for Bryant in a 3-point game with 4:08 to go in the 3rd quarter. And Brennan Meyer, I mean, again, they put the ball in his hands, and for now about a quarter and a half, really good things have happened.
That's exactly what's happened. He is now into the rhythm of the game. He's finding his receivers often. They have really done a really good job of creating some separation. He's bounced back since that interception earlier. There's no glimpse of that at all right now in his play. Looking back at it earlier on, he was getting the tight end involved on a regular basis, and that's where they were seeing some success. Started running the ball, and next thing you know, great things are happening.
Makes a good decision there. Threw it away. So they've run, Trey, 43 plays in this game. 31 of them have been Brennan Meyer passes.
That just lets you know, one, they came into this thing thinking they could throw the ball. A lot of that probably has to do with how Temple was able to exploit the man coverage that UMass plays so much last week. And they really have been able to do a lot of the same things. They protected Brennan pretty well for the most part. They just haven't connected on as many of those passes as they would have liked to or potentially should have with the guys that have been running open at times.
On second down, they roll him again. Brennan Meyer crosses body. Incomplete. Try to find the tight end, Kobe Keenan. Not an easy pitch or catch.
That's not easy, and it's dangerous. The biggest no-no for quarterbacks is throwing the ball late across the middle. He's throwing it across his body from rolling right back to the tight end. I saw what he saw, that he had a window in there behind the linebacker. It's just that window is really small, and there's a lot of risk, not a lot of reward there.
Chris Merritt's team started 0 for 6 on third down. They've converted 2 out of their last 3, including one big third down and long that helped them get back in this game. And Meyer trusting again. Another throw down the middle, tipped and complete. The man with the pick 6 earlier gets the stop. Tyler Martin.
Tyler has come up huge when he's been in the game on these passing situations. If he's been around the ball, he's been making the play. That one there was another dangerous throw by Brennan. Put the ball in harm's way. Thankfully, they don't get a turnover on that one for Bryant's side, but UMass gets the ball back. Should be in really great field position, most likely, with a chance to try and respond.
Loaded up here on the punt. Christian Carroll Glenn gets it away. Returnable, and it is, but nothing there for Samuel Badu. Tyler Martin leads UMass to a stop. He'll get his offense back on the field after this on third down. Minutemen ball. See who comes out at quarterback on the other side.
All of football when executed properly, and it results in a face mask inside the 10-yard line, looking to get 7 points here.
That was Lonnie Rice who pulled them down from behind. Been the run game inside the 10-yard line for UMass. Hood scored his first career touchdown inside the 20 and works his way down towards the Bryant 5.
Inside the red zone, particularly inside the 10, has got to continue to be a huge focal point for UMass. Dating back to last week, not able to get what they wanted. Even, earlier in this game, the touchdown they had inside the 10. Look at Grant Jordan there. I mean, can't ask for any better than 90% passing in the passing game. The one interception is literally the only blip on his performance thus far.
Along with the rushing touchdown, this time throwing incomplete. A lot of hand fighting on the outside. And Tyree Kelly couldn't make the play, working against Lindo.
Liam Lindo there, that's exactly what you want to do as a corner when you end up in a fade situation. Stand your ground. You don't have to let that wide receiver beat you to the point of the ball. The throw was a little deep. All Lindo did was stand his ground and, hey, can't complete the ball when I'm the closest one to it.
3rd and goal from the 7. Grant Jordan again. Looked right, flushed right. He's already run for a touchdown. He throws incomplete. He had Jaquan Gibson wide open and just couldn't get it there.
What a missed opportunity. Grant Jordan has done his best work in the red zone when he's improvising. He improvises there. His best player, or his best receiver, Gibson, does a great job of separating late in the down from the coverage. Just got to complete that one. That one hurts as a quarterback and as a staff. You do all that work, you excel throughout the drive to get inside the 10-yard line, and you're not able to capitalize. That one leaves you scratching your head.
Derek Morris missed from 38. This one is right down the pipe from 24 and extends the UMass lead. DFW area, Matthew Stafford, Kyler Murray. Natural Texas quarterback swag. It's a real thing. You played the game, and he's done it tonight.
he is that guy. He's that confident guy that he's not going to be fazed by mistakes, the interception early on in the game. There's some quarterbacks who just go into a hole and hide, or the offensive coordinator loses trust and puts it on the running game after that. They haven't been that. They've taken on the personality of this quarterback, and opportunities are here.
Deep shot, opportunities right there. Zaheem Kalik down the sideline. Bryant ties it. They can take the lead.
What a play. When you play man coverage at the extent that UMass does, you are kind of always flirting with disaster if something goes wrong. This is one of those plays. We were looking for that receiver for Bryant who was going to step up. We had talked about earlier, is it going to be Aldrich Doe? Tonight, it has by far been Zaheem Kalik. That dude is a burner. He is running away from guys left and right and making plays. Taking the lead right here if we make this extra point.
Bryce Soley gives Bryant their first lead. 72 yards to a guy who did not have a touchdown in his career when he woke up this morning, has 2, and Bryant leads UMass.
Zaheem Kalik has shown tonight, 1, he is a burner. 2, he's going to get open on a wide variety of routes, and he is ready for the moment. Those couple misses that Brennan Meyer and he had early in the first half, those are long gone. This connection is looking alive and well right now. And Bryant has the lead. UMass has to figure out what they're going to do. They've had some good drives here in the second half, but haven't done anything significant with it. Only 3 points. What are they going to do now that they face true adversity in this game, not having the lead anymore?
And number 9 has put that team in his orbit all night long. Started slow, threw the pick. I mean, he threw a pick 6 in the first quarter. His game was almost over at the end of quarter and a half. And you see it right there on the back of their helmets. Expect to win. Bryant, who's never beaten an FBS opponent, has a 1-point lead with 15 minutes and 42 seconds left in this game. Bryce Soley. UMass decides to return this time. Up the middle, and a chance to break to the outside of the left. At the 50, Soley made the play.
It's crazy to see they made a change at returner. They hadn't even returned a kick returner at this point yet. You have TJ McGee back there who had 2 return touchdowns at his previous school at Davidson, and he almost takes this one to the house. If he could have made the kicker miss a little bit sooner, he might have been off to the races. But a huge play. This is what UMass needed to get things going. Again, for the 3rd or 4th time in this half, they are in plus field position already. You absolutely have to convert. And at this point, 3 points is not enough. You have to score touchdowns here. That's what Coach Harris-Simiak is going to be expecting.
TJ McGee hadn't returned a kick all year long. You mentioned him at Davidson. He's got it inside the 40. Grant Jordan's the quarterback. Grant Jordan's got time. Now it closes. He is devoured. Gideon Badada.
Huge play for this defense to set that drive back after the big return. We've been waiting all day to see if Bryant would generate some pressure in the passing game the way they had been doing really well up front in the run game. It doesn't come from their superstar all-conference defender, and Adi Dada comes in and makes a tremendous play.
And that is how the 3rd quarter ends. It ends with a sack, but really it ends with this, Trey.
It does. Massive touchdown going in, 24-3.
Gets a lot of it back. Max Dowling, the tight end, sets up 3rd down and 12 for the Minutemen.
This is a great job by Grant Jordan. Second and super long in these situations. What you want to do is, can I get half of that back to make 3rd down realistic? They do just that. You make it a 3rd and 12, still a long situation, but so much easier than 3rd and 20 plus. Now you have an opportunity to convert.
They have a kicker who's been good from 52 in his career. Ball right now is on the 36-yard line. Right now the focus on 3rd down 12. Jordan pressured again, running for his life with a flag down again. Incomplete. I think there might be another hold on the way.
UMass offensive line had done a really good job competing all game long. A couple plays in a row, the penalty bug hits you, and it really hurts what could have been a great responsive drive. You know, you had the big return, and then now we're kind of going backwards a little bit.
That penalty is declined. Result of the play, 4th down.
Malglin the second. They decide to decline it. Again, the ball's at the 36-yard line. And UMass is going to bring the punt unit out there. Keegan Andrews could try a 53-54-yarder with Marcus Lai, who does have a 52-yard field goal in his career, but Joe Harris-Simiak obviously didn't want to chance it. So Andrews going to punt, trying to pin Bryant back deep. 1-point lead for FCS Bryant in the 4th quarter. High in the air from Andrews. UMass on the coverage. Kezion Dia-Johnson had a dive last second and got it done. Down at the 1.
Looks like there's a flag on the far sideline. Might have been an illegal formation. Before the play was snapped, it just felt like things were kind of weird. There were guys looking for motions, and they weren't really set and ready properly. They ended up getting the punt off, but if it's an illegal shift or an illegal formation, then all was for naught. You got to punt again. Hopefully for Bryant, they're trying to get in better field position than starting to drive at the 1.
There's no foul for illegal formation on the play. 1st down, Bryant.
Wow.
Joe Harris-Simiak's team dodges a bullet there. Could have been the 3rd penalty in the last 4 plays. Hey, he talked with us last week. This is a program that's not done a lot of winning, and even the transfers are guys that maybe have not had opportunities to win because they haven't gotten to play. And he made the point about these guys that when something goes wrong, all of a sudden everything goes wrong. It's so easy for everything to kind of just get out of hand, and you just wonder about what's in the minds of these guys as you sit here down by 1 point to an FCS opponent. Is it here we go again?
It's tough because football players, just like all humans, are creatures of habit, and unfortunately when your habit is losing and not really responding in adverse situations, that's all you know. So how can they rebound from this situation and take control of this game?
Brennan Meyer from his own end zone, deep shot right side, and it was long. Carter Newman was running the deep route.
Yet another, just exemplification of Brennan Meyer's gunslinger mentality. He wanted Zaim Kalik deep once again. I'm not mad at him for it. Man, any penalty when the quarterback is back there holding or anything, that gives you a safety, and that puts UMass right back in the lead with the ball. So, I think Bryant is going to be a little smarter here in protecting the football. This is a really tough place to be, and you don't want to give UMass the momentum back. Make them earn it.
Especially in a 1-point game for a team that was penalized a lot last year. Brennan Meyer again off the play fake. They flush him again on the roll to his right. He threw across his body, got it done. Kobe Kanan shook a man, upended out towards the 15 for a Bryant 1st down.
Here's that late throw over the middle, and boy, was it close. This gunslinger thing is just going to pop up. That's how we're going to finish this game. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be crazy. But, the tight ends have been a focal point for Bryant all game long. They've been pretty reliable when he's been throwing them the ball. This is another example of that. Force a missed tackle, move the sticks, get you out of the shadow of your own end zone, and now your offense can open up.
He's thrown the ball 35 times. He's gotten better as he's thrown it more. On 1st and 10, this time to give. Elijah Elliott wading through men and runs it across the 25-yard line. 2 plays, 2 first downs.
By far Elijah Elliott's best run of the game. And man, if they can get that side of things clicking, I think it might make Brennan Meyer and these wide receivers out wide even more dangerous. 2 first downs in a row, like you said, they are feeling it right now. They're in a prime position. They're thinking about extending this lead at this point, and that's dangerous territory if you're, a UMass supporter.
2 captains in that backfield. Brennan Meyer, guy who just ran the ball, Elijah Elliott. Both first years as big parts of Bryant. Back to Elliott, again off tackle right, and again weaving down towards the 35-yard line. More positive plays.
Two really solid runs back to back. And now you're in a 2nd and short category. Every play in your playbook is at your disposal. If you want to, you expect man, you can take another shot on the perimeter with these speed guys that you've had that have really been excelling here. Or you run, get this first down, and keep things rolling. The options are limitless in this situation for Bryant, and I don't envy UMass's defensive coordinator right now.
Against the Bryant offense, averaging 6 yards a play today. 2nd and 3, play action. Roll to the right, Meyer out of trouble. He's got plenty of time now. He tucks, he falls forward, got gang tackled. Short of the sticks, Tim Heinz-Peter led the way.
Offensive lineman down there, which is really tough. That's one of those shots you just want your quarterback to not take. Hey, get the first down, slide, run out of bounds. All that is great. Don't put ourselves in adverse situations if we don't absolutely have to.
You can see at top of the screen, just as Brennan Meyer ran out of the pocket, Matthew Rao went down, and he's being looked at, their backup left guard. A moment to breathe in the chaos tonight here in Amherst.
And it leads to a better outcome. So, if I'm UMass, we got to switch things up. We've been exposed a little bit in man coverage, particularly here in the 2nd half. Let's see what else we can do to put some pressure on the quarterback and not let him feel so comfortable back there.
Bryant's receiving core, they've recruited speed. We've seen it today. As the give goes for a few yards, Elijah Elliott in there. UMass player lost his helmet, Chambray Jackson. I mean, you just said it there. Man is UMass's identity out of the nickel package in that 4-2-5-2. At a certain point, though, do you sit there and say, we can't do this anymore?
You have to switch it up. Zone like they did on the previous pass play, or, 5, 6-man blitzes to where at least there's different looks. It's going to expose you a little bit more maybe without having that post-safety help. But at this point, the post-safety help really hasn't been a factor in these wide perimeter throws that they've been doing to #1 receivers. So if you can heat them up, at least it's a little bit different.
3rd and 7 for Bryant, leading by 1. Meyer heated up, down he goes. Marcus White, play of the UMass night.
Absolutely massive play. The last 2 pass reps, they've gotten a good pass rush. This one, they finally get home. That is exactly what UMass needed. Set Bryant back in their place a little bit offensively and say, hey, we're not going down without a fight. We are not a pushover. Even if we play man, we'll play man if we want to. We're going to go get to the quarterback, though, and that's what they did.
It took until the 8th quarter of the season. UMass has its first sack.
That's hard to hear if you're a defensive coordinator.
4th and 12 punt. Anderson lets it fall. And Bryant's going to down this inside the UMass 15-yard line. 9.5 to go. UMass ball. They need a score to come back on FCS Bryant. First-year head coach Joe Harris-Simiak for the Massachusetts Minutemen said it last week after they lost. I know what everybody's going to say. Same old UMass team that hasn't won much over the last decade since joining the FBS. Well, he asked his team to respond to adversity. Down by 1 against FCS Bryant. It is capital A adversity on a Saturday night.
It truly is, and it's different in last week that they played well for a longer stretch today, but it's also the same. How do we take that step forward? Even if it's just a single step, we have to figure out what that first step is going to be and then take it.
They start the biggest drive of their very young season with 6 yards from Brandon Hood. Grant Jordan, the transfer from Yale, is their quarterback. Brandon Rose, the man who chose Joe Harris-Simiak, their starting quarterback, has his arm in a sling on that sideline. Down by 1 with under 9 to go at home. Jordan is throwing the ball well, and he finds his top target on the outside, Jaquan Gibson, near the sticks.
Those are tough throws, man. I know it's only a 4 or 5 yard route, but when you're throwing the ball almost from your opposite hash to outside the numbers, that's a really long way for that ball to travel, and it gives the cornerback a chance to make a play. That one works out. They move the sticks. Those are situations, though, you really want to be cautious at times.
Play fake again, outside, high throw. Relatively easy pitch and catch, and it was too tall for Donnie Gray.
Those are those easy misses that are tough to have, man. You miss too many of those, puts you in a tough spot. 2nd and long. What are we going to see from here to keep the ball rolling? Their #1 threat on the outside isn't in the game right now, so someone else has to step up and make a play if it's going to be in the passing game.
And in general, we haven't seen a lot of Jaquan Gibson in this second half.
He's been pretty limited for sure. I know coach wants to manufacture some targets. It's hard to do that late when you're trying to figure out the best way to win.
2nd and 10, eyes over the middle, flushed out, running towards the sideline. Jordan loves to run, he does. Sidesteps a man, still up, and twirled down across the 30-yard line.
He's been at his best today when he's been improvising and getting on the perimeter. Handles the pass rush here well. Good inside move there, but not able to get him down. He gets on the perimeter, he makes good decisions. Almost makes 2 guys miss in the open field, and now you're in a 3rd and short situation that you expect to get this and keep the chains rolling.
Rocco Griffin, single back. Rocco Griffin, the call, waiting. Down towards the sticks, and they'll move him.
Those are the tough yards that you need your #1 running back and your team captain to go get for you. He actually gets first contact made in the backfield by this blitzer off the edge, still able to fight for that 1.5, 2 yards, keep the chains moving, and hey, we got to get going down the field to take this lead back.
A couple players down after that. One Bryant defensive lineman, Azrael Justa, along with Mal Glynn, both popped up, and I think both teams started to treat it like a timeout, but it's not one.
Right back into the game. You see Jaquan Gibson coming back in, likely a passing situation from this condensed bunch set they have going on here. They shift to the same thing on the other side. You get in bunch, you get some mesh concepts, play action, get going down the field. Let's see what they've got.
Motion from Gibson, off the play fake, find Gibson. He came across the formation, he's got a first down. Took the punishment from Olatunde Mparu, but he'll take the yards.
Great finish on the tackle there, but it's hard to believe that #2 in Scarlett is that wide open to catch a pass. They move the chains. Might want to protect yourself a little bit because you don't want to take too many of those kind of hits.
4th catch, 17 yards and a first down. Grant Jordan again, calm in the pocket. He could not find Jaquan Gibson. You see it, they're looking for him.
They absolutely are. They've made him a focal point. He's going to come out after a couple targets in a row moving down the field. But they had him open there. Maybe had to throw it a little bit sooner than he would have liked with some pressure around his feet. They had the corner route open, though. That's one you really would like to hit.
Grant Jordan's 12 out of 17 for a $164, 71% to go along with a rushing touchdown. Backup quarterback at a starter's moment. Second and 10, snap to his left. Steps up, wants to run, dancing, gets away off to his right, double fake, and he couldn't get it there. Had a man wide open, but just had no time.
That's so eerily reminiscent of the touchdown he missed in the red zone. He does all that improvisation work, gets there, has a guy wide open. If you look here, the pressure that ends up coming to him at the end of the play, a guy in coverage actually left his man. He was man-to-man coverage there, and his wide receiver is wide open, and you're not able to make them pay for that mistake on the defense's part, and now you got 3rd and long.
Oh, early snap, had no idea. Jordan runs away from 2. Jordan, deep shot, a miracle! Yes! On 3rd down! No way! Donnie Gray!
You have got to be kidding me. Everything about that play makes absolutely no sense. The only problem is if you're a defense, when you see the ball on the ground like that, everyone up front goes and pursues after the ball, and everyone in the back end relaxes because you think the play's over, you think you got it made, you're getting off the field, and a wide receiver gets behind you for a huge play. Oh, that hurts if you're Bryant defense.
1st and 10 inside the 15-yard line now. Grant Jordan, design run, off right tackle, steps up, flags down as he got tripped and got hammered up high.
This is a rough play on the front end and on the back end because you had a really well-executed designed quarterback run, and you're going to bring this back because of a holding penalty that was completely unnecessary. The play was already past him, and he tosses a guy to the ground.
Holding.
Then your quarterback takes a huge hit at the end of the play. Those are 2 things you do not want. Oh, that's tough to see.
Benjamin Roy called for it. What a minute in Amherst.
This game is coming down to the wire, and they're giving us no short of excitement on every end. I'm anxious to see how it's going to play out here in the next 5 minutes and 31 seconds.
Full sicko feel on a day where we waited 2 hours because of tornado warnings. FCS Bryant with a 1-point lead. 1st and a long one. Jordan, pocket's gone, and so is he. Bo Shugarts, the Bryant sack.
Really, really early pressure there up the middle. It looked like they had some double move concepts on the outside. None of them come open, and man, your quarterback almost does another Houdini and gets out of this sack. Unfortunately, not able to make it happen. You started this, this set of downs at the 15-yard line, and now you're back at the 35. Ooh.
I mean, Derek Morris, their kicker, hit from 40 last week. So to take the lead, you figure you got to be inside the 25-yard line. 2nd down and 31. Jordan looks left, puts it that way, and Jaquan Gibson wasn't ready for it.
2 targets in a row with Gibson. There's some degree of miscommunication. Looks like the quarterback wanted him to run a slant. He runs a hitch. You're trying to get some of these yards back so that you can get in within comfortable field goal range. That was a missed opportunity to get at least 5-6 of those yards, and now you're looking at 1 down to close this gap so you can get this kick and take the lead.
They need 10 yards for really what you would consider a makeable field goal for Derek Morris. He has hit from 46 in his career. On a 3rd and 31 for Grant Jordan. Looks down the middle, looking for his tight end, and that's knocked away. Max Dowling upended by Olatunde Mparu.
That's a really tough one. It really is a good read because that's Tampa 2 coverage. That linebacker is running up the middle, and you think you have your seam. Because the ball floated a little bit, it just gave the safeties a chance to close, make a really good clean hit, and now UMass is forced to take a really long field goal.
And they're going to try it. from 53 yards. Mouth guard gone on that one. 53 yards. Derek Morris's career long is 46. He hit it with Cal last year, and timeout. Timeout Bryant. 53-yard field goal attempt with 4:17 to go when we come back. He's going to try a 53-yarder to take the lead with 4:17 to go. His career long is 46, did it with Cal last week. Hit from 25 today and missed from 38. From 53 to take the lead. Snap good, hold good, kick is good!
Huge kick, man. Absolutely huge. Celebrating, and rightfully so. Had the leg, had the accuracy. The blockers held up in front for him. And UMass has really their first big life moment of this second half.
His second kick, second make, puts UMass on top with 4:11 to go.
He did, man. It's a personal record for him, a school record kick. And, man, look, it couldn't have been in a bigger moment, a bigger situation. UMass takes the lead back. Now, can they go out and get a stop? Does this defense have a couple more plays in them to take control of this game for good?
Kickoff, Bryant on the return. Elijah Williams has taken every single one out tonight, and he does it again. Elijah Williams at the 10. Elijah Williams to the 30. Still up and down across the 35. It's good field position on the biggest drive of the year so far for the Bulldogs.
Man, one thing we can count on tonight, he is going to take that ball out of the end zone. That's a huge way to start this drive. Now, hey, the ball is in Brennan Meyer's court and hands. What does he do with it? He has weapons on the outside. He's been extremely comfortable, particularly in this second half. UMass is going to come out and play some man. Last drive, they got some pressure for the first time. Can they replicate that pressure here in the biggest moment of the game?
On a nutty day in Amherst, it started with tornado warnings and a 2-hour delay. Will it end with the ball in the hands of the kid from Texas? Bryant looking for its first ever win against an FBS opponent. They run QB draw, and he is absolutely drilled. Dean Schaefer was waiting.
Excellent read by him on his part. When you run quarterback run game, you have an extra blocker involved, and typically that's when you try to outnumber the defense. He does a great job scraping over the top, getting underneath the block. Huge play here to start the drive.
Bryant's thrown the ball 37 times. They've only run it 19. Second and 9. Brennan Meyer pressured again. Dunked out. He is drilled and dragged. Tim Grant Randall got there for UMass's second sack of the season.
That's that pressure we were talking about. This was huge. He had one of his receivers streaking over the middle of the field, and Tristan Riley. They showed a too-high look defensively, ended up getting into their one-high stuff. He was open, man. Just don't have the time with the pressure right in his face. Biggest third down of the game for Bryant offensively. What can they do in a really tough spot?
3rd and 16. They've gone deep a lot against man coverage. Brennan Meyer, eyes downfield, steps up, goes deep, had nothing. Zaheed Calling interfered with. UMass's secondary down body after body. Brennan Bailey might have just gotten ripped for one.
That's a really tough play if you're Brennan Bailey. He's there in great position the whole time.
15 yards.
He doesn't really do a whole lot of obstructing him.
First down.
All that ref there in the back view sees is that hand a little bit bump his hip as he's trying to play the ball, which was really thrown too far outside. It's a tough play. I'm not surprised that it gets called.
A novena on 3rd and 16.
That is the prayer that Bryant needed to be answered.
Under 3 minutes to go. Brennan Meyer on 1st and 10. Another deep shot down the middle. Intercepted! D.D. Snyder!
Man, what a play from my fellow Tampanian, D.D. Snyder, coming in off the bench. You know, didn't get an opportunity to play last week, comes in after another injury in this game. We see a too-high look very similar to the one we saw earlier in the game. Makes a great play on the ball. It hangs up in the air just a little too long. UMass got the stop that they needed. That gunslinger mentality came back to bite Brennan Meyer at the end here.
At Illinois, 2 years at Ball State, missed last week, questionable today, and D.D. Snyder in the game makes the biggest play in the Joe Harris-Simiak era.
It's a huge play. Look, they always had, say those Florida guys come to play. He came into this moment. The moment was not too big, and he got it done for his team.
Remember, Bryant's already used one timeout. Handoff goes to the outside, Brandon Hood. Still the 2-minute timeout and then the 2 Bryant timeouts. We'll see how Chris Merritt uses them, and he just burned his second to last.
Speaking of timeouts, it's a little tough now looking back on it when Bryant had to use the timeout because they didn't have enough guys on the field on that field goal. It's a tough spot to be in. Hey, could you have just let that one slide and let the kicker kick it? They weren't going to fake in that extra long situation, but you really have to like that extra timeout back in this situation. When you do get a stop, use the 2-minute warning as your 4th timeout instead of your 3rd, and have that in your hip pocket for when you get back on offense.
Still, though, you stop him on this series, and you've got a shot if you're Bryant.
You do. You're going to have some time, some time probably about right at or under 2 minutes, depending on when you use your timeouts and what UMass is going to do. I'd expect them to keep the ball on the ground here. They've had some success with Brandon Hood. It looks like Rocco Griffin's going to come back in the game in this situation. The only other thing I'd see besides that is a jet sweep to your guy Gibson, another way to get a different playmaker the ball than just a traditional handoff. Other than that, they're going to be pretty conservative in this situation more times than not.
1 timeout left for Bryant. 2-minute timeout still sitting out there. Running Gibson back and forth, but the give goes off to the left. And it's Rocco Griffin down towards the 30. You got a 3rd and 6 or so coming up, and Bryant uses their final timeout of the night.
Unfortunately, everything is going to come down to a single play for Bryant here. You worked really hard all this time. You've done all this setup. They get this first down here, though. You're not going to have any timeouts left, and the clock is unfortunately going to look like it's going to run out on you. So this is the play of the game.
Joe Harris-Simiak is coaching his second game at UMass. Lost last week, heard all the noise, down late against an FCS opponent. They hit the field goal to take the lead, and they're first down away from having full control. Bryant, on the other side, has never beaten an FBS opponent. They were within 1 point of FIU 3 years ago. They were tied in the fourth quarter 4 years ago against Akron. And it sets us up here with 2:19 to go in a 2-point game on 3rd and 7. How much are you thinking QB run here with Jordan in the game?
That could factor in as well. It'd be a really safe option. Again, like I mentioned a couple minutes ago, it gives you an extra blocker. Potentially, can you free something up and make a big play? But this play right here is the opportunity that Coach Merritt spoke to us about. All or nothing. Whatever you have, leave it on the table. Can you execute in the moment and make it happen? We're about to find out right now.
Rocco Griffin in the backfield. Grant Jordan on 3rd down and 6. Motion the man and pulled it. QB run in the backfield. Nothing there. Bryant had to make a play. Dixon Hudson did it. And they'll get a punt with 2 minutes to go.
When you put it all on the line like that, that's what you expect to happen. QB run, just like you said, but there wasn't a Bryant defender further than 5 yards from the line of scrimmage. They were going to compete. They were going to have extra hats to the ball in the event that there was a situation just like that, and it works out perfectly for them.
We waited 2 hours to start this game. Teams took cover. Fans were removed from the stadium. When we sat, we waited, we finally got to it, back and forth all night, and finally, many, many hours later, Grant Jordan and UMass on this play set up the field goal.
This play was absolutely ridiculous. You could play video games and stuff like this doesn't happen. From the bad snap right after a prior bad play for UMass, everyone on Bryant doesn't know exactly what to do, how to respond, and your coverage unit freezes up, and he throws up an absolute prayer. Man, I know that ball was waiting a long time when it was in the air for the receiver to make a catch. Those are those ones your eyes get so big you can't even explain it. All you want to do is come down with it. He does. Kicker converts, with a career kick, and it's a 2-point game.
If UMass can find a way here, that's a play that'll be remembered forever. If Bryant finds a way, they'll remember it the other way in Smithfield, Rhode Island. Punt on the way from Keegan Andrews. 2 returners back there. They both let it bounce, and it takes a hop inside the 20-yard line to the 15. 86 yards for Bryant. 1 minute, 45 seconds, and no timeouts.
Man, that last part is tough. No timeouts. What makes that situation even worse, besides the extra yards from the ball rolling, it rolled off another 5 or 6 seconds versus if you just fair catch that and you get the ball on the 22 or 23-yard line. Man, those seconds are way more valuable than you think. At the end of the day, though, you have 1 minute and 45 seconds. You have your quarterback who you trust with everything. You have your weapons on the outside. What will you do with your last opportunity?
Brennan Myers show tonight, 38 pass attempts of the 58 plays that Bryant's run. On 1st and 10 from inside their 15-yard line. Brennan Meyer again, down the sideline, put it right on the money. Aldrich Doe in traffic for a first down.
I hate to keep coming back to it, but when you live by the gun, you die by the gun. That wasn't necessarily a great read, but it was a great throw. Layered it over the coverage perfectly between 2 defenders, and Aldrich Doe goes and makes an absolute play. That could have ended really poorly.
Meyer again to that same sideline, and Elijah Elliott, who had a touchdown catch earlier in the game, walks out of bounds. Perfect start to the drive for Bryant.
It absolutely is. You've gotten out of bounds twice. You've already moved the ball 20-plus yards. Now you're looking at, hey, 2.5, 3 first downs away from getting in field goal range. We have a really good idea of how far their kicker, needs to be based on the earlier miss that was just a hair short. But you have plenty of time right now. You don't have to rush. The whole field is open to you.
Flag thrown. You see anything?
I was going to say maybe the only thing could be a snap infraction by the center. It looks like he's signaled false start.
Offense, number 54, 5-yard penalty, second down.
Generally, the guy snapping the ball, we wouldn't expect them to be able to false start. It'd more so be a snap infraction, but hey, there's a first time for everything.
John Fadgley for Bryant called for it for Bryant team that led the conference in false starts in the CAA last year. Backs him up for second down and 8 from their own 36-yard line. Brennan Meyer on the run. Incomplete. Pressure came from Marcus White. Dartmouth transfer's been everywhere tonight.
He has come alive over the course of the last 2-3 drives. He is solely making an impact on this game right now. Forced that ball to come out just a little too hot for Elliott to be able to handle. And you're in 2-down territory no matter what, but this is a tough spot with 3rd and long.
Those who have waited for tornadoes and thunderstorms to leave still here past 9 p.m. as loud as they've been all night. 3rd down, Brennan Meyer, again flushed, again throws, put it on the money, and found his 3rd down man, Tristan Riley.
Really a simple, short out, flat route right there by the receiver. Quarterback just puts the ball on the money, and you get just enough for that 1st down. But that's a huge play to keep the chains rolling. You still have so much time left on the clock. They've done a great job with time management so far. And that field goal is within striking distance right now. You can feel it in the stadium.
Brennan Meyer's thrown for 293 against an FBS opponent. Back to throw again, floats it down the sideline, collision, and no flag. Tyler Martin got tangled up on the outside with Elijah Elliott, but 2nd down is next.
Unlike the earlier touchdown, the linebacker this time gets a much better read of the play, probably because, hey, I just saw that kill my guy earlier in the game. I want to be able to respond. Hey, a defender has the right to position himself on the field wherever he likes. That's why there's no call on that. I like the no call. You live on, 2nd and long.
Second down and 10 from the 45-yard line. Again, they get Meyer moving out to his left. He throws on the run. Riley got his feet down inside the 30.
Field goal position, here we are. Excellent job on the run, locating your guy. The receivers have consistently been able to beat man coverage, particularly in this 2nd half, running away from the safety help. Great body awareness, getting his feet down inbounds, knowing where he was on the football field.
Grad student from a sophomore for the biggest play of Bryant's season so far.
Looking like you might have a pressure look from UMass.
They bring 5. Pressure off the edge. Throws it into the pressure to the outside. Collick could not get it flagged down.
Once again, man, just when you're in these man situations so many times in a row, it makes it really, really hard. You got some speed that you're going against in Collick, Riley, Doe, all these wide receivers, and they beat you off the line one step. It's human nature to panic a little bit and grab. That one's pretty obvious there as you see the replay with the shoulder pad coming off.
10 yards from the previous spot.
We're talking about them running the clock out and potentially kicking it with no time left to even let UMass respond here.
On a night where their regular strong safeties, Ron Daniels, been out. Malcolm Green, one of the regular corners, out. Kendall Bourne's ejected for targeting. Jeremiah McGill called for a hold to take Bryant, to your point, well within field goal range and maybe more with 1:08 to go. This time they put it on the ground. Elijah Elliott down Main Street to the 15-yard line. And now Joe Harrisimiak's got to think about timeouts with a minute.
If they're going to defend the stop, they absolutely have to take these timeouts here, and you give up a first down, it's up to the kick at the end of the day. They're a little far to entertain letting them score and retaining your last 2 timeouts. I think if they were inside the 10-yard line, maybe you talk about that. But them being at the 15, you know, they got a reasonable gain on first down. You got to let your defense play. Go out and compete. You know, go out on your shield, as they would say here. You live by man coverage. At some point, you may or may not die by man coverage. And the coaches knew that. That's what they talked about earlier in the week. And you have 2 plays left to give yourself a couple seconds to be able to respond on your own.
See all the taps for Brennan Meyer in that Bryant huddle. He's not only led them, he's been their wings tonight. Bryant team that, you look at this team out of the FCS, they've been in 4 different conferences in 4 years. They were 2-10 last year, and it drove them to this.
It absolutely did. Coach Merritt talked about it, and we've hit on it ad nauseum at this point tonight. But making these kids believe we're supposed to be here and we're supposed to win. That's what this moment is about, and they're ready for it.
Give to Elliott again, towards the sticks, needs the 10-yard line. He fell forward near it. Timeout UMass with 57 seconds to go. And they'll stare down a 3rd down and 1 for Bryant.
There you go. That picture says it all right there. Never beaten an FBS opponent. Right now you're sitting at the 13-yard line, 3rd and 2. You get this first down, then you can run the clock down and kick it with no time left to win. Or, you still have the ability to kick it even if they do stop you and hold on over the remaining 45 seconds of the game. Everything is in front of Bryant right here. This is what they worked for. This is why expect to win is on the back of their helmets. Their coaches believe in them. They put in the work that justifies that fact, and they're ready for this moment.
Bryant University, an enrollment of just under 4,000, just northwest of Providence, representing Smithfield in Western Massachusetts tonight. 3rd and 2, where you go?
At this point, man, I'd love to say run downhill, but put it in your quarterback's hands one more time. You've trusted him this much, some type of RPO zone read. That's what I expect.
3rd and 2. It's the give. It's Elliott down the middle, push the pile towards the 10. He's got it.
It looked like there was a zone read look there. He gives it, and his back gets the most important 2 or 3 yards of, potentially his entire career.
Timeout UMass. 52 seconds to go. Minutemen are out of timeouts, and Bryant can run it down and maybe kick 1 to win it.
That's exactly what's shaping up to happen right here. I'd say they're going to position this ball wherever their kicker likes it the best. Let that clock run down low. You'd like to give yourself an extra down in case something crazy happens. But, hey, UMass has put themselves at the whim of Bryant University right now, and it's in their hands.
Do you do anything but run this clock down and try to kick a game-winning field goal?
Probably not. Definitely not putting the ball in the air at this point. Putting the ball in your running back's hands, or like I said, just center it up. You could just take a knee and have your kicking unit come out there, and they snap the ball, make it the last play of the game. It's really whatever you're most comfortable with at this point in terms of how you take this time. If they run the ball, again, going back to my earlier point, UMass could let them score and give themselves maybe a little bit of time. I don't know if Coach Bryant's going to instruct them to not run in the end zone or what. But those are kind of the options at play.
They showed up here having never beaten an FCS opponent. As they play a little journey here, Brennan Meyer has turned, we talked about him as a gunslinger. He has turned Western Massachusetts into the Wild West tonight. They just let him throw the ball, and for most of the night, good things have happened for him. He came back from a pick 6 to do it.
They really have. He came alive, and even the pick down here to D.D. Snyder late, that again, like those kind of plays set quarterbacks who aren't necessarily fully confident or, outside factors can affect him, those things might, put you in for the rest of the night. That might kind of be it, and you have to go a different way. But, Brennan has stepped up huge in this moment. He hasn't let it be too big for him. He hasn't let things get away from him. And you can tell that the staff has continued to pour confidence into him to allow him to have this maturity that he has as still a really young player.
No timeouts left on either side. Brennan Meyer and Bryant from inside the 10-yard line. Elijah Elliott's the back. Meyer kept it and dives forward across the 10-yard line. So this clock's gonna run. They could run it all the way down to inside 5 seconds if they want. You saw him dive left. I would assume that's the side that Bryce Soley wants it on the left hash if they do decide to run one again. Yeah, we have an official's timeout.
Coach trying to figure out what's going on, and to be honest, I am too. Great job by Brennan Meyer there. It's a really small detail, but he avoids taking an unnecessary hit there because all UMass can do is force a fumble. Lay it all out, try and get the ball back so that they don't have an opportunity to kick, but he avoids taking the hit at all, and that's the safe play.
Please set the game clock to 44 seconds. Play clock operator, please set the play clock to 40 seconds. The game will start on my wind.
So this clock will run the instant that they blow the whistle. It doesn't change anything in any way.
Thank you.
Chris Merritt said it. UMass looks at us as an FCS opponent. We have to look at them as an opportunity. The opportunity to beat an FBS team for the first time in the history of Bryant University.
They are in the 11th hour right now. You are staring at the finish line of doing exactly what you set out to do. Can you get over that line?
Just took another step. Again, no timeouts either side. It's 2nd down and 9 with the clock winding down and down. Inside 25 seconds. Looks like they're going to spike it. Just watching this wind. One moment for Brennan Meyer to stop and admire his handiwork. And now, with 5 seconds, there's the spike. And Bryce Soley's coming on to give Bryant a chance at their first win against an FBS opponent.
It's incredible. An absolutely fantastic football game has come down to this one moment. And even though it's a 19-yard kick, right, shorter than an NFL extra point, this is a huge moment. You can see Bryant on the sideline taking a knee. They won't celebrate this until it goes through.
Bryce Soley to give Bryant their first ever win against an FBS opponent, and he does it!
What a football game. Pandemonium from the Bryant sideline, and rightfully so. They went out and earned every single bit of this moment. And heartbreak for UMass and coach, but man, you have to give credit to the Bulldogs for what they came out here and did. And just an incredible game to watch all around.